What's up YouTube, this is Dennis Panuta for tutorials.eu. In this video I would like to talk about goals and how to achieve your goals and how to set your goals correctly in order to actually achieve them, and in general about goals. So I have reached a milestone for my goals, so to speak, and that's why I'm creating this video. And I also thought it would be a good idea for you to set your goals, maybe in terms of how good you want to become as a developer and how you could set up those goals in order to actually achieve them. All right, so let's get started. In order to create a good goal, you need to make sure that it is smart. Okay, I'm going to talk about smart goals and non-smart goals, showing also some examples where non-smart goals might be a good idea, but then you might want to call them not goals but something else. And then also life's purpose and how it helps setting up your goals and achieving them. All right, so the first thing that you need to take care of is that their goals are smart. SMART stands for specific, well, measurable, achievable, realistic, and then finally timely. Okay, so these are the keywords that you need to look at when it comes to setting up your goals. Okay, so let's look at it from a technical point of view, right? So let's say this is the algorithm that you need to follow in order to achieve your goals, or at least set your goals correctly so that they are more likely to be achievable. Let's say without setting them, your probability to achieve them is, let's say, 20%, but with setting them correctly, your probability to achieve them is 80%, for example. All right, so it's definitely worth it. So let's get started with a particular example. So let's say you want to become a game developer. And in order to become a game developer, you need to learn, first of all, which kind of tool do you want to use, then what kind of tool do you want to become a pro at, and then in the end, of course, learn programming as well. So you need to know a programming language that you can use in the tool that you're using in order to build games. So now if you know Python already, for example, then you could of course use Pygame in order to build games. But then if you know C#, then Unity would be a better option. So you have to decide, do you want to learn a new programming language in order to use the tool that will help you achieve your goals easier, or do you want to just hone your skills and just use the programming language skills that you already have in order to use a tool that helps you with your programming language? So that is something that you have to figure out. And if you don't know programming at all, then you definitely should check out one of my courses. So by the way, we're working on a Unity course. That's also something that I wanted to share with you. But yeah, coming back to the SMART goals. So how do you know that you achieved your goal? And that's why you need to be specific. So you need to be clear, when is the goal reached? Like, what kind of thing do I need to achieve in order to make this goal reached? So let's say I want to become a game developer. All right, that would be the goal, but it's not smart yet. So let's make it smart. So first of all, you need to make sure that it's specific. So you need to know, what does it even mean to be a game developer? Okay, so let's say game developer, okay? Dev. Okay, so that is GDev. But now make it measurable. How do I know that I am a game developer? On one hand, I got a job as a game developer. On the other hand, I have built games. Okay, so let's say I built 3 games, 3 different type of games. Let's say then I am a game developer. So measurable, 3 games. So this is something that is measurable, right? Now, how about I got a job as a game developer? Is that measurable? Well, yes, it's a yes/no answer, right? So it is measurable. Then you can ask yourself every single day, do I have a job as a game developer already? No? All right, so then I need to find a job. How do I find a job? Well, I need to learn how to find a job. And then you try to find a job and you don't get it, and then you need to learn how to become better at finding a job. So there is always this thing where you can just ask yourself the next question. So first of all, the first question is, okay, how do I become a game developer? All right, I need to build games in order to improve my portfolio, in order to become better at the thing, in order to be more attractive for the company that should hire me or whatever. Okay, then once you've done that, how do I get the job? Well, I need to become good at the job. That's one thing, but that's not enough. So I need to find the company that fits to me. That's also one thing, but then I need to do marketing for myself and do the interviews correctly. So how can I become better at interviews? Well, I need to work on my posture. I need to make a friendly face. I don't know, like be in a good mood when I go to the interview. And there are a lot of other tricks that you can follow. And we might make a video on that in the future as well. So that's the M part, right? And now, is it achievable? So is it achievable to become a game developer in a week? Well, probably not. Is it achievable to do it in a year? I think so. Is it achievable in 2 months? Only with one of my courses. Yeah, we're working on a course that will be amazing. And it will be released potentially next week. It depends on when this video will be live. Maybe it's out already, so check out the link in the description if it is live. So then, achievable, well, let's say yes. Because in this case, it is achievable. So you need to make sure that it is something with your past experience of doing things. Is it achievable to reach this thing? So for example, making 10 million next year is highly unlikely that it's achievable for you, considering that, let's say, you're making 1,000 a month right now. So how could you achieve it? Well, not with your current ways. So you would have to change your entire personality as well as everything that you do in order to achieve that. Is that achievable? Well, purely from that perspective, yes, but is it realistic, which is the next point? That's the next question. So purely from a global perspective, let's say, is it achievable to become a millionaire in a year? Yes, it is. Is it realistic for your personal situation? That's where the next question comes in. Well, I'm not sure. So it really depends on your situation. But then if we look at our becoming a game developer thing. So building 3 games, then you know that you are a game developer, for example, or getting a job, then you know this is a realistic thing. Because, well, it's achievable and realistic. So let's say yes, because you know how to do it. You know, you need to learn a programming language, you need to learn the tool, you need to do it every day for 3-4 hours, then you're golden. All right. And if you know that you have 3 or 4 hours spare, then you can do it. Are you expecting a child and you will have less time for learning, for example, and you have a full-time job? Then think about this thing here, the timeliness. So that will be the next one. So here you need to specify by what time this will be done. So you could say in 3 months, but it's even better if you say on the 31st of month X. Or 30th, depending on which month you're looking at, or maybe even 28th or 29th, if it's February. So here, let's say 31st of December in 21. Okay, so now we have a smart goal. We want to become a game developer who built 3 games by the 31st of December in 21. So now, if you want to become more specific, you can go further into this part here. So you can make it more measurable. You could be saying, okay, I want to build at least one 2D game that I will put on the Play Store, then a 3D game that I'm going to put on the Steam Store, for example, and then a third game, which could be something that, I don't know, whatever you want to come up with. Maybe a multiplayer game, a simple multiplayer game. So if you achieve these goals, then you know that you're golden. The good thing about these SMART goals is that they lead to action. Then you start doing something and you are actually putting effort into it, because now you know what you need to do, and it's more likely that you will do it if you know what you need to do. Because the first thing that you need to figure out before you can achieve a goal is how to achieve this goal. So what kind of steps do I need to do? And that will be the next thing that I do after I write my goals down. Because now I have to think about, okay, how do I achieve this? Well, I need to take the NSS course, for example. Then how do I achieve it next? Well, I need to take an advanced course maybe, because the NSS courses aren't advanced enough yet. Well, that will change this year as well. So then how can I make sure that this is going to be a higher priority to me than checking out Netflix or watching YouTube videos all day long? Okay, while this video might be helpful for you, at the same time, you could have spent your time otherwise learning to actually achieve something. Even though I think these videos, they can be very important and can really help. Once you have watched one of those, the second one will already have a lot less value, because it's going to be the same thing over and over. It's like learning Japanese. For example, for me, I tend to watch a lot of videos about learning Japanese. So I spend a lot of time wasting my time, so to speak, learning freaking Japanese. So, well, learning how to learn Japanese, not even learning Japanese. So I could rather spend my time learning Japanese rather than watching videos about how to learn Japanese more efficiently. Because there is a point where you don't gain anything from watching these kind of videos. It's the same with this thing. All right. So then you start breaking it down. Okay, so let's say today is the 12th of May. All right. So in this case, if I want to achieve these goals, I have 7.5 months to achieve them. So how am I going to break it down? Okay, I'm going to make sub goals, so to speak, where I'm going to say, all right, by the, let's say, 31st of July 21, I will have gone through the course. I've finished the course that Dennis has come up with, my Unity course that I'm working on. So here you would write down the next goal, Unity course. Is it measurable? Well, yes it is. You watch 200 lectures. Okay, let's say it's 200 lectures. So you know, once you have gone through the 200 lectures, you are golden. The goal is done. Is it achievable? I would definitely say so, because there's no higher force that will stop you from doing it. Is it realistic? Absolutely. Because the course is, let's say, 30 hours in length. If you break it down in 2.5 months, that's like half an hour, less than half an hour a day. Is it realistic? Totally. I'm still using this black pencil even though it's not working. I don't know what what is wrong with me. So now the next goal. Build my first game. So we said we would build 3 games, right? So all of these pens are not working. This one. Beautiful. All right. Build 2D game. Is it measurable? Well, you need to specify what needs to be part of that 2D game in order for you to say it's done. Okay, so here we would say has 20 features. So either that, or you really specify what exactly you want to be in the game. And then you know, okay, at this point, the game is done. So then, is it achievable? At that point, yes, I would definitely say so. Is it realistic? Definitely. Let's say you need a month for it. All right, that's a reasonable amount of time. So then we write down 31st of August, for example, right? So I guess you know where I'm going with this. So at this point, just break down your goal further and further. So for me, now let's talk about 2 more things. I think the video is long enough already. The thing about life purpose. So if your goal follows your life purpose, then it's going to be significantly easier to achieve. A life purpose could be, in my case, my life purpose is to teach 10 million people programming. Okay, that's my life purpose, because I believe that this is bigger than me. All right, so 10 million, bigger than Dennis. Good goal. Definitely more like a purpose than just a goal. And then for a game developer, what could be the purpose? Well, the purpose of creating the best possible games that will make millions of people happy. I think that's a good purpose. All right, so becoming the best game developer that you can be in order to make as many people as possible happy with your art and your skills and your time. So that is definitely something that is usually bigger than yourself, because it's not only profiting you, but it's profiting other people in at least the same way, more even if possible. And purpose is something that many people are very lazy about. So the easiest purpose that you can find is just getting children. Suddenly, boom, purpose. And it's a lot easier to forget all of the other things once you have children and not focus on hard goals and just chill. And of course, be a good parent, whatever that means. Does it mean you have to be with your children all the time? I don't think so. Do you have to be fully with your children when you're there? Definitely. So these are things that you need to consider. I'm not going to talk about that in too much depth here. So the purpose is one thing. And then how about goals that are not in your full control? So where you have a certain control, but there are so many question marks where you cannot be sure. So there are some things that are so far off or so far away where you can still set them up as your goals for the future, but you don't say when they should be achieved. So that's something that I personally do, and it worked out for me so far. Because what it does is, if I remind myself of me wanting to achieve this big thing, it just does something with you. Your subconscious starts working for you, and you come up with new ideas of how to achieve it. So for me, for example, I had set up this goal. Maybe you can see it. It's a $20,000 euro, actually, 20,000 euro bill. So it's a 20 euro bill with 3 zeros that I added. The zeros are barely visible, but that's how I set it up back in the day, like 5 years ago or so. And at that time, I made like 6,000-7,000 a month. So it was 3 times as much as I made back then. It was almost unrealistic to believe that I could make that much in a month. And then I achieved the goal. And then I set up my new goal. This one here. So I took a 50 and added 3 zeros to it. So that's what I want to achieve in a month now. But then after I achieved these numbers and these goals and everything, I realized, well, actually it doesn't really matter, because it's more important that I teach as many people as possible, that I create as much value as possible. And if I do that, the money will come. Like, it doesn't even matter anymore. At this point, it will just come. So I did it all the way around all the time, which is totally wrong, or it was wrong. So I focused on the money first, and then I focused on how to create good courses. Now I focus on great courses, and I know if they're great and I market them correctly, then they will be working a lot better. So that's also something that you might want to consider when you're setting up your goals. If they're just monetary, think about it. Let's say I want to achieve 2,000 euros a month as a game developer. Depending on where you live, this is a lot of money, or it's not a lot of money, really depending on where you live. So if you set up this goal, then once you got it, it's done, right? It's not a good goal, because then, like, what's next? Okay, now I want to reach 5,000 euros a month. Well, then at one point you make more money than you need, because at one point you start buying shit that you don't need. And once you do that, does it make you any happier to do all of that? No. But if you set up your goal, I want to become the best game developer in my company. Wow, that is a good goal. Then you can become so valuable for the company that they actually value you a lot more. And that is a feeling that it will give you that is amazing. So people will value you more, and that will lead to you creating even better results for not just you, but also for the company, for people who play your game, for the entire world. All right, so if you made it all the way to this point in the video, thank you very much for still watching my video. I'm not sure whether I would have watched it all the way to the end. Even though if I liked myself, I would do it. I do like myself, but I mean, like, if I like the YouTuber who created this kind of YouTube video, there are a bunch that I actually follow, where I actually watched them rant for quite a while. So I hope I wasn't too ranting. I wasn't ranting too much. Whatever. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you're interested in any of my courses, check out the link in the description below. We have set up a new page, a beautiful page where you can find the right course for you depending on what you want to learn. App development, game development, C# development. So either way, we have the right course for you. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching the video. If you did like it, then hit the like button, and then also leave a comment if you think that I should change something about my videos. If you have some ideas what we could do, what kind of videos, if you want to know more about these kind of things, if you want to know more about what I think about certain aspects of life or of programming or whatever, just let me know. I'll think about it and maybe come up with a YouTube video on that. And also hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. All right, I wish you all the best, and I hope that you set up your goals now, and share your goals, by the way. Share them in the comments, what you want to achieve, because then you're going to be accountable. That's also something that I haven't talked about, but accountability is a big, big, big thing. So make yourself accountable by writing down the goal, and then people who see your comment, they can then ask when the time has come whether you have reached that goal. So please also write that down. If you see somebody who set up a goal and the time has come that they should have reached the goal, ask them whether they have done that, whether they have reached their goal, because then they're accountable. And if you are accountable, you're very likely or more likely to actually do the thing, because social pressure is a bitch and it's really powerful. All right, so have a nice day. Good luck with your goals. I wish you all the best, and see you in the next video.